If your gender doesn't equal your body parts, then why do you need gender-affirming surgery next month? Think about it like you're a train conductor. And every day you show up to work wearing your uniform, which in this case is a hat, a bandana, and... Now let's say one day you show up to work without your uniform. Even without the uniform, you still know how to be a train conductor because you are one. You shovel the coal, you punch the tickets. It's like the outsides don't match the insides. And what's more, people might look at you and treat you like you're not a train conductor, which can make day-to-day life very difficult. But when you put your uniform back on, you feel way more comfortable in your own skin. This idea of the insides matching the outsides is the same reason that I'm getting bottom surgery. I know who I am on the inside, but the outside doesn't match that right now. To be clear, many trans women do not get bottom surgery, and that does not make them any less a woman. If we're talking about uniforms, there are several for women, and I'm just finding the one that works best for me. Ultimately, you don't need the uniform to be a train conductor. However, it can help you feel more comfortable and confident in who you are. It is a miracle that I did not get any lipstick on this. Shout out to Sephora. Sponsor me. Toot toot, y'all.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
If we're talking about uniforms, there are several for women, and I'm just finding the one that works best for me.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
Okay? That is just stupid.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that fellow we just heard from in the first clip say that being a woman is just like putting on a uniform? So he's basically wearing woman face, right? Am I right? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a very crazy weekend Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. Now, I know these photos here at the beginning are starting to get a little repetitive. And sadly enough, I think the shock value is starting to wear off as well. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to switch up the intros here to keep the videos interesting. But since we're here, meet Cynthia. Now, Cynthia is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, Cynthia frequents both lesbian dating apps as well as ladies' restrooms. What?
Bad touch, stranger danger.
Let's keep this party rolling with this lovely lady who repeats MSNBC and CNN talking points perfectly. It's like she watches CNN, then turns on her phone and regurgitates exactly what they just said. Roll it.
Never in my life seen anyone as cruel, rude, mean, vindictive, vengeful, hateful as Donald Trump is. My name is Janet. I live in a little town of Byron, Georgia. I thought in 2016 when I voted for Donald Trump that I voted for the lesser of the two evils. From the insurrection that he directly caused with his rhetoric in his mouth and inciting the people into doing what they did to our nation's capital is just beyond imagination. Assault, and let's call it because that's what it was, to inflating property values to get better loan interest rates, to sharing our classified documents to anybody that wanted to look at them and brag about it. And his friendship with communist leaders is just unthinkable. Presidents are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be for the country they represent. And I've been here almost 70 years, and I've never in my life seen anyone as cruel, rude, mean, vindictive, vengeful, hateful as Donald Trump is. Everything he says has to be fact-checked because 95% of the time or more, it is untrue. And the childish name calling, I pray that you vote for Joe Biden this year because we do not need Donald Trump in the White House.
Oh, shut up, silly woman.
Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you know that if you're enjoying the videos, you like the content, you want to help support the channel, and you want to piss off the likes of that lovely lady we just heard from, grabbing one of these t-shirts is a great way to do it, and here it is. The Revenge Tour 2024 mugshot t-shirt. Now this is the most famous mugshot in the history of all mugshots, so if you want to grab yourself a little piece of history, I will put a link to the t-shirt in the description box below, and I also have some other very cool designs you can check out as well.
That is awesome.
All right, this next clip is going to be for all of you single fellas out there. This lovely lady is looking to find herself a good man. However, she does have some requirements. Roll it.
Hi, I'm Tracy Dixon. I'll buy you a double wide trailer if you be my boyfriend. I'm looking for a strong Caucasian man. Please, no African Americans, no Latinas. I'm just here, so if this you, please hit me up. I get my check, my food stamps. I live right here in a beautiful trailer park, and I'm just here looking for me a man. So if you like big girls like me, hit me back up. My mom is 25% white, so yes, I'm 25% white. And I'm a pretty girl, so hit me up. I'm just a big girl. None of these cute Caucasian mans out here want me, so I figure I'd get up here and find me one. Gotta be strong, masculine, beautiful, slim skin.
So, fellas, I guess if you meet Miss Tracy Dixon's requirements, hit her up. Anyway, next up, so this individual who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman is going to continue using the ladies' restroom, and what you want doesn't matter. Really. Roll it.
When it comes to people's freedom and their autonomy, what you want does not matter. Ever. I feel safest going to the women's restroom. If there are gendered bathrooms, I will go to the women's restroom. You wanna know why? Because I am a woman. And when I go to the women's restroom, you know what happens? I just do my business. I wash my hands, and then I leave. Nothing else happens. Now, people like to think that women that are trans are dangerous in the women's restroom, even though statistically, that's not the case. What they're doing is projecting their fear of cis men onto trans women, and that is not okay. We are not men. And to say you refuse to grow as a person because something doesn't align with how you grew up or with what you were raised with, that is backwards thinking. That is what is keeping us as a civilization, as a species, from evolving further. We have to do better than that. We have to think better. We have to grow.
If we let this stuff go too far, pretty soon we'll be fucking dogs.
So if these people are just going into the woman's bathroom to do their business, wash their hands, and leave, why do we see so many photos posted online of them in the women's bathroom with the hashtag ladies room selfie? Cis women don't do that. Anyway, next up. So here we have a school teacher responding to the comment, pregnant people? Only women can get pregnant. Remember, this is a school teacher. Roll it.
Pregnant people, only women can get pregnant. That is false. People who are assigned female at birth can get pregnant. There are plenty of men and non-binary friends who have a uterus. Trans men and non-binary friends can make babies if they have a uterus, and if you can't sit with that, check your transphobia.
Say what?
There are plenty of men and non-binary friends who have a uterus.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
So I'll be the first to admit that I am terrible at math. I never really got it in school, and I didn't enjoy it, so I never put in the effort to try to understand it. However, even a dummy like myself can figure out that the math on this next clip, it just isn't mathin'. Roll it.
What is something I wouldn't guess about you?
Something that a lot of people don't know or guess about me is that I'm only 24 years old and I have a 18-year-old son. I grew up in the middle of America, so that was kind of like a normal thing, and I had a really older man who was my partner, and I was able to have the child, thankfully, but I was separated from him at birth, so what is really making me happy is when he turned 16, he actually reached out to me and wanted to be in my life, and he was able to, with his adoptive parents, contact me and speak to me. I never expected it. I kind of wrote it off when he went away from me, that I would never be with my son or see him, or it was something I had to be ashamed of or had to not really live my truth. But the fact that he was like, Mom, it's okay, it wasn't your fault, it happened, and we're living together on the earth like we should be with each other. So
can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things?
The things?
Something that a lot of people don't know or guess about me is that I'm only 24 years old and I have a 18-year-old son.
But that's simply not possible.
Like I said, the math just isn't adding up. Anyway, next up. So this young lady just discovered a type of bread from Finland. It says, another American discovering Finland. Now, the type of bread is spelled Jussi, roll it.
You mean to tell me that Finnish people would sit down for dinner, look their mother or father dead in the eye, and say, will you grab me a piece of that juicy pussy? You guys are fucking crazy.
Hey, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen now. Why does she seem so angry? Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor, is a good friend of the channel, Kathy B from the LBC. Kathy B from Long Beach, California. Kathy, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. Second sponsor of today's video is the Etsy store, Red Clover Fields. Now, many of you know that is my wife's Etsy store, and she's got some fantastic stuff on her website. Stuff I use every day, and I swear by it, but don't take my word for it. Go check out some of the reviews on her store. They speak volumes. So once again, today's video sponsors are Kathy B from Long Beach and the Etsy store, Red Clover Fields. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've seen enough of this. Get this lady off the screen, please. So angry. Oof.
That's a huge bitch.
All right, next up we have one of those Stitch TikToks where it's going to start out here with the lesbian Snow White, aka the pronoun gal. Then this other young lady is going to chime in and tell us why she loves creative neo-pronouns. Roll it.
Pronoun of the day is bon bonbons. Ooh, fun bonbons. And
I love when people have creative neo-pronouns because it makes conservatives mad, and I love anything that makes conservatives mad.
Oh, don't give me that liberal bullshit.
Next up, we have this young lady who says that if you refuse to date someone because of their sexuality, it's homophobia. Now, I might be losing my mind here, but is there a fire alarm chirping in the background as she's talking? It can't be real. And I swear, I didn't add it in here. Roll it.
This is my last time addressing this whole being homophobic. Y'all homophobic as hell if you refuse to date somebody because of their sexuality. Again, if you refuse to date somebody because of their sexuality, you're homophobic because it's not like you're basing it on them being a shitty person or them being ugly. You're basing it on their sexuality. So that right there is homophobia. Like, I really wish y'all would try to stop spinning it every other way. And then it's for the people in the comments like, oh, I just want to be with somebody who's straight, or I just this, that, and the third. I don't want to be with somebody who's been with a man. The person you're with, y'all don't even know if they're straight until you ask. A lot of people are not going to just disclose their sexuality off rip when it comes to dating somebody. Like, depending on who it is, yeah, some people are more open than others, but not everybody's going to straight up just tell you off rip. Because at least for me, as somebody who is queer, who dates men and women, I'm not gonna, if you're with me, I'm not gonna be over here telling you, yeah, I used to be with men and, oh, I used to be women. Like, if you don't ask, I'm not telling you because it's none of your business. Like, I feel like that part it shouldn't matter, because once I'm in that relationship with you, it's us. Like, nothing can change that unless we decide to break up. And it's just crazy to me that y'all are trying to spin it every other way. If you refuse to date somebody because of their sexuality, it's homophobia.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Hey, where are the white women at?
Now, I couldn't pay close attention to what that young lady was saying. Something about if I don't want to date a gay man, I'm homophobic. Anyway, when I heard that fire alarm chirping, I could not stop laughing, so that pretty much distracted me from the rest of the nonsense she was spewing. Anyway, next up. So this lady is a Minnesota state representative. Who votes for these people? She says in this committee hearing that if you use the wrong pronouns for somebody, it's harmful, and that if you misgender somebody, you need to apologize. Roll it.
I want to note that parts of the conversation have been, this is not about adults. We want to support adults to live their best life, live who they are. And I want to remind us that harmful disregard of someone's preferred chosen pronouns directly conflicts with the message that we want to affirm people and let adults and encourage adults to live their best lives. Further, I want to say that gender-affirming care for all ages is a range of treatment. It's a range of choices they make, from clothes, from name to hair, and yes, pronouns. And when we misuse pronouns and when we intentionally or deliberately misuse them or choose not to be careful, we're sending messages to our kids also that we don't care how they're seeing the world and we are willing to do them harm. And the very act of doing that is an act of disrespect and violence against people, regardless of who they are. I personally think that when we misgender people, and yes, I do it sometimes, it's a habit. I apologize, and I work to do better. And I would call on all of my colleagues to apologize when they misgender and resolve to do better.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the f*** up.
I say again, who votes for these people? Anyway, speaking of voting for people, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Nancy Pelosi on MSNBC. Now, it seems like every time Nancy Pelosi gets in front of a camera, there seems to be a little something off with her. And I can't quite figure out what it is. Anyway, guys, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
You mentioned Florida, the 15-week ban, which is about to become a 6-week ban. What are your questions about the integrity of elections there? You made the point that you had questions about whether the election would...
Oh, in Florida, I don't know. I think if you have all the money in the world, go spend some in Florida. Otherwise, let's just win the election elsewhere. Now, my friends in Florida will not like that, but the fact is we have to win. We have to win this. Joe Biden is, it's a beautiful vision for America. He knows the issues. He knows the strategy of how to get things done. Greatest record of a president in the first 2 years when we had the majority in comparable to Lyndon Johnson, Franklin Roosevelt. He didn't have as long a stay, but nonetheless, for when he was there, and an empathetic person who cares about America. And then we have this guy who's out there saying, oh, I'm proud of overturning Roe v. Wade, and now states can make up their mind. And what he said they can use their faith. I mean, he had I don't even know what the word is, the call, to use the word faith about how they make these decisions.
So, Madam Speaker, let's turn to Israel.
Yeah.
President Biden had a phone call with Prime Minister Netanyahu. What did you say?
And what he said they can use their faith. I mean, he had I don't even know what the word is, the call, to use the word faith about how they make these decisions.
You've been doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
And you ain't black.